Welcome back to Transcriber from Reddit. Today's topic comes from the subreddit exmuslim, posted by user SheBDD. The post is a linked post titled Salwan Momika, shot dead in Sweden. The link takes us to a Swedish article that is, you guessed it, written primarily in Swedish. Please note that for the following translation, I just translated the basic information from the article using Microsoft Translate. Nothing super fancy. I begin reading what was translated. 5 people have been arrested after the murder of Salwan Momika, 38. Last night, the police knocked on the door of his partner, Salwan Najim. Quote, "They told me that he had been shot and is dead," end quote, says Salwan Najim. On Thursday, the verdict should have been handed down in the case where they were both charged with incitement to racial hatred after the Quran burnings. It has now been postponed. It was just after 11 p.m. on Wednesday that police were alerted to the Hovsjö district in Söderdalja. My apologies for butchering those Swedish names. After shots were fired indoors in an apartment building. In the house was Salwan Momika, who was hit and taken to hospital, Expressen learns. There was a live broadcast on Salwan Momika's TikTok account shortly before the shooting. Parts of the sequence of events may have been broadcast live. Quote, "It is a piece of information that has come to us, and we are investigating the matter," end quote, says Nadia Norton, press spokesperson at the police. Salwan Momika, 38, was shot to death late on Wednesday evening in a residential building in Södertälje. Again, my apologies for butchering that name. Five people have been arrested. The security service is also involved, according to information to Expressen. Salwan Momika became a household name in 2023 when he repeatedly burned Qurans. This led to several riots and unrest in Sweden and created a diplomatic crisis. He was charged with incitement to racial hatred. The verdict, which was supposed to be handed down on Thursday, has been postponed. 5 people were arrested during the night. All are over 18 years old. Quote, "All of them have been arrested on reasonable suspicion of murder," says prosecutor Rasmus Oman, who is leading the preliminary investigation. It is the lower level of suspicion. A major police operation was underway in the area on the night of Thursday. Pictures from the district show police officers with reinforcement weapons. It is, of course, tragic that someone should be shot to death, and if I understand correctly, in their home in that way, says Minister of Justice Gunnar Strömmer. The security service is involved, according to information to Expressen, but it is too early to say anything about the security situation, according to Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson. Quote, "It depends to a fairly large extent on what the police and the security service conclude is behind this. I can guarantee that the security services are deeply involved in this because there is obviously a risk that there is also a connection to foreign powers," end quote, Kristersson said. Salwan Momika, 38, became a household name during Sweden's NATO process when he repeatedly burned Qurans. Massive protests broke out in Muslim countries, which put Sweden in a diplomatic crisis with an increased terror threat level as a result. In Iraq, the city of Al-Kufa promised a reward of $2 million and a Quran made of 2 kilograms of gold to whoever killed him. The government in Baghdad requested his extradition. Side note, if someone killed him and received the whoever hypothetically killed him, if that hypothetical person who hypothetically killed this guy were to receive the Quran made of 2 kilograms of gold, does that mean that if that person melted down that gold Quran to get the gold, to use it, to buy things, is that on the same level as burning a Quran? Anyway, moving on. The government in Baghdad requested his extradition. Salwan Momika came to Sweden in the spring of 2018. In the autumn of 2023, his temporary residence permit was revoked and he tried to apply for asylum in Norway, but was soon back in Sweden and received a new residence permit last year. The migration agency considered that he risked being tortured if he were to return to his home country of Iraq. They are postponed. Together with his partner Salwan Najem, he was charged in August 2024 with 4 counts of incitement to racial hatred. The verdict was supposed to be handed down on Thursday, but has been postponed until Monday, February 3rd. Quote, after it has been confirmed that one of the defendants has died, the verdict must be adapted to the fact that it is not possible to convict a deceased person, end quote, writes the Stockholm District Court in a press release. Later in the day, the prosecutor's office announced that the charges against Salwan Momika had been dropped. His companion Salwan Najem was visited by police during the night towards Thursday, he told Expressen. Quote, they told me that Salwan Momika had been shot and that he is dead, end quote, says Salwan Najem. The police held a short interrogation. They asked, among other things, when he last met Momika, which was during the trial on incitement to racial hatred. Quote, then we joked with each other. When we were done, I said to him, quote, we might get a life sentence, you and I, end quote. And we laughed, end overall quote, says Salwan Najem. The evidence in the case largely consists of video material from the burnings. In connection with the indictment, Salwan Momika told Expressen that he was surprised, but not frightened. Here ends the translation. If you or if anybody you know speaks Swedish or can translate into Swedish better than my poor attempts using Microsoft Translate can, please direct them to this. I don't think this will get enough Western media coverage, and it needs to be covered. Christian nationalism is bad, and so is Muslim nationalism. And it's not right that a guy should die just because he burned a symbolic holy book. That is it for today. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you in the next one.